Hello, and welcome to Songs and Stories from the Attic, with me, your host, Eddie Danger, where I share songwriting tips, tell stories, and sing songs. And today I'm at the 11th Annual Boats and Bluegrass Festival, and my guest here is Erik Berry, and he plays mandolin in the band Trampled by Turtles. Hello.
Hi, Ed.
So you have a solo mandolin album out.
It's a Christmas album.
A Christmas album.
Yep.
And so when you venture off from playing in a band with the mandolin and you're writing your own material, how do you like to go, what's your approach in writing a song?
Well, I wish it was more brainy than the answer is going to be, but I just sort of like noodle around until I find something I like, and then I'll play it again. And then, you know, I'll just kind of make myself work on it to like make it have a pattern that works over and over. And if I do like it, I'll keep working with it. And sometimes they fail on me, and then I let them go. Most of them fail on me.
Really? What percentage of songs do you start not make it to the end, do you think?
85.
Oh yeah?
Maybe more.
And so that 15%, how much of that 15% makes it out of your living room and into something that like Trampled by Turtles is doing?
8 songs. 8 songs total of Trampled has tackled, whether they've been recorded or not. But I do play sets without the band, and so a lot more of them appear there in that context. Like not every, I haven't taught Trampled quite a few of them, and some of them we've run through once or twice, and the band's kind of been like, meh, you know, and that's their right. You know.
Well, you guys all have a lot of, you're all really creative people, and you all have different projects outside of Trampled by Turtles, and I think that's pretty cool. It allows you to express a side of you that maybe you haven't, that you can't in the band.
That's true. Absolutely, that's true.
So you talked about what noodling around and learning a song or creating a song. How do you get yourself in the headspace to open yourself up to that
I haven't
process?
Figured out how to do it at home yet. But when Trampled's on tour, I just make myself start playing after dinner. I just make myself do it. And if I'm not feeling particularly creative, I always bring books of music on the road, and so I'll just play someone else's songs. Yeah. But I make myself play a lot, because sometimes when I'm at home, you know, and I have a wife, I have 2 kids, and we've got a farm we're running, we've got a lot of animals, and I mean, we're busy. And so it's really easy to not have the time. And so one day I was like, well, I wish I had more time to play for 3 hours a day. And I was like, well, I do in my professional life. Right. So I just make myself do it.
So make the most of your time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to Songs and Stories from the Attic with me, your host, Eddie Danger, and Erik Berry. Excited to see you guys tonight.
Excited to play.
All right.
Come into the world, when you go out of the world, but in between, just you and me.
And today I'm at Boats and Bluegrass Festival with Dave Simonett.
Hi.
And you're playing in 2 bands this evening.
That's right.
Dead Man Winter and Trampled by Turtles.
Yep.
When you are writing music for each of those bands, what is the major difference in your mindset?
Well, honestly, the only difference is timing. Normally I just write songs, and then I mean, it's really as simple as whatever project I'm working on. I try to fit those into that project. And sometimes they don't work, so if I get leftovers, you know, if something, you know, if I bounce it off a Trampled record and it didn't click, then I'll try it on the next Dead Man project. But when I'm writing, doing the active writing, I don't normally, there's probably a few exceptions, but normally don't think about where it's going to end up. Just try to get the song out first and then figure it out.
Mm-hmm. The instrumentation is different.
Yeah.
You have the pedal steel and the drums.
Right.
Do you think about that ever when you're writing for?
Not really, because I don't really have the capacity to, when I'm writing a song, to really even think about those parts. You know what I mean? I usually just kind of get it to where I can play it on a guitar, and then the rest of the guys in either band come in and add all those other touches to the song.
Yeah.
So I don't really write towards a steel guitar or towards a drum kit or towards a mandolin. Mm-hmm. I have a hard enough time just writing it for me, you know.
Yeah. Do you really write on a typewriter?
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
When I'm home anyway.
An old school one, right?
Yeah, it helps. For me, maybe it's because it's a physical movement or it's the noise or something like that, but it's my preferred method for sure.
And you know what else it is like you're putting a physical motion and energy into something.
Right.
That, it's a vibration just like a string on an instrument that vibrates out into the world.
Yeah, I definitely get in a rhythm. Pretty literally actually with the typewriter keys.
Uh-huh.
And hey, get the hell out of here, man.
Excuse me, sir.
How rude.
that I feel like helps me just kind of zone out and try to turn my brain off a little bit and just let it come as it comes. You know?
Yeah. Awesome. We'll have a great set tonight.
Thank you, Eddie. Good to see you, man.
You too.
Bye, Internet.
And I'm in the green room here at Boats and Bluegrass with Mick Garett from the band Four Legg Fish. So tell me about your first experience at Boats and Bluegrass.
Oh God! So my first Boats and Bluegrass, Erik Berry, an old friend, had just gotten married earlier in August, and as like a gift, as a thank you to the wedding party, he got me, my girlfriend, a friend of his wife and her husband, a bunch of us tickets to Boats and Bluegrass, and we all came down and we camped, and it was just awesome. And then girlfriends come and go, but Boats and Bluegrass is forever, I guess, is the moral of that story. And so then ended up coming a few years by myself, and then
you ran into our cameraman, Mr. Ryan Rocket Legs Haney, who you went to college with, right?
Mr. Erik Berry, Ryan, and I 1 year, and they all kind of blend together. But Erik, as a surprise, was like, there's this. We're sitting at the campsite, and all of a sudden Ryan comes walking up, and we spent our freshman year together, like on the same floor in Erik's VW bus on crazy, kooky adventures. And years later, we're like almost every year, Boats and Bluegrass, we all mush back together.
All right, Boats and... You got it. So, as Master of Ceremonies, I was checking out the schedule, seeing who's playing tonight, and I saw a TBD on there, To Be Determined. It's like, that's pretty sweet. So, and then I started hanging out backstage, and I was seeing all these cases that said TBT on it. I was like, well, Boats and Bluegrass, BBG, sure takes this Throwback Thursday thing seriously. What are tomorrow's cases gonna say? And then I realized that TBT did not mean Throwback Thursday. So I was like, OMG. So speaking of Throwback Thursday, I just want to take you all back to 11 years ago. On the other side of the Mississippi River, Wisco Way. Wisco, represent. We always do. We love you though, Minnesota. So 11 years ago, this next band, To Be Determined, played at Boats and Bluegrass when it was known as Bluegrass and Boats. So I'd like to introduce to you Turtles by Trampled.
good to be back. I believe your MC played a set at that show too, if I'm not mistaken, Eddie. That was a good time. I think it was in the backyard of a bar.